What's going on, guys? Welcome. This is SB here, and I want to tell you guys about 5 fragrances I've been rocking heavy in my rotation as we are moving through spring here. Again, I have a lot of fragrances, so this might have to be a part series, but I just want to show you guys what I've been wearing lately, and these are 5 that you definitely want to get your nose on. Strap up. All right, welcome to the scent bubble. I am your host for the day, actually. Welcome. Let's talk real briefly about spring. Everybody's spring probably looks different. And so this video is not about me giving you a prescriptive way to approach spring or anything like that. I'm just telling you what it's like where I live, what I've been wearing, and hopefully you pick up some nuggets and some concepts and some ideas that you could bring into your spring. And also, you could share what you wear. We can get a conversation going in the comment section below. But a lot of times, you guys want to know what I'm wearing because I have so many fragrances, so many samples that I'm just constantly cycling through fragrances. Sometimes I'm wearing fragrances a lot of times because I'm trying them out before I give a review on this channel. And so it's not as practical to where I live or what I want to wear. It's investigative for me. But that means that a lot of you guys want to know what I actually prefer to wear during different times of the year. So I'm going to do this in a part series. Likely these aren't my favorites or the best of the best, but I love wearing them. So let's talk about spring real quick in Arizona. Really, spring and summer in Arizona is terrible. 100+ degree weather. But the difference between spring and summer, at least this year for me, is summer is about survival a lot of times. It's just constantly hot. The gas doesn't let up. You pray for one day of rain type situation. And it's about survival. You really want to cut through the heat and you need to be refreshed. So anything that imitates a drink of water, a breath of air, is a great fragrance. Things tend to get simpler. So the way I explain it to people is just that with spring, you tend to be able to mess with fragrances that have a little bit more personality because the priority isn't just a fragrance that can survive. So I tend to, in spring, even though we have some 100 or 100+ degree days, most of the time it can creep down closer to that 70, 80, high 80, mid 80. And then you get some days of rain or some cloudy days where it can get into the 70s, which is just perfection. We pray for those days here in Arizona. So difference between spring and summer, you can wear fragrances with a little bit more personality. You don't have to wear as substantial of a fragrance because longevity can be manipulated a little bit. And so I typically like to wear light, airy fragrances, but also more middleweight fragrances with more personality and depth, or just simple fragrances with complexity in the texture. Some of my safe go-to concepts are citrus greens, floral musks, citrus and vetiver, and aquatic fragrances with woods under them. Risky scent profiles for me would be things like sweets, creamy, heavy, super spicy, dense, warm. Again, warm and spicy I dabble with, and I'll show you some examples of that today, but I'm dealing with those in a very middle to lightweight density of fragrance. So anyway, I want to see, let me kind of put together a rotation for you guys real quick here. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is what we're going to do. Let's start off with something simple here. Let's talk about what I've been wearing a lot to work as just dumb reach, go, I know I smell professional, clean, middle to lightweight. I call this Young Money CEO vibes. This is Bentley for Men Black Edition. And everybody has a different kind of description of this fragrance. This is just me, guys, but to me, Bentley Black Edition is Creed Aventus, but you take pineapple completely out of the question and you put, an orangish tangerine note to it. So it's got the woods. It's not the most smoky, but it's got a very sophisticated woody base. And it's got some, just kind of, I don't know, guys. Sometimes I don't like to describe stuff in terms of notes to you. Like, I feel like calling it Aventus, but swapped out the pineapple for orange or tangerine is a great definition. But I'm trying to just take it further for those of you who might not know what Aventus is. Yeah, it's just this tangerine note, but dressed up like Aventus. It's really nice. Sometimes you get tired of pineapple with Aventus, and you're just like, man, I don't even want to touch another pineapple fragrance again. And this isn't just with Aventus. Like, I find distance makes the heart grow fonder with me with pineapple. I don't even care if it's Hasselblad or, Cologne or Peugeot. Uh-oh. Got to take my meds. I'm just kidding. But I just find that I need to space out my wearings of pineapple. Whereas this fragrance, I can pretty much wear it year round and I never really get tired of it. I don't know if you guys are like that too. There's like a certain note where if you binge on it, you'll just get sick of it. Like, I don't even want to see a pineapple for the rest of the year. But this is really nice, man. What I love about this is it's not youthful. It's just eternally hip for a kind of young CEO vibe. I call this fragrance young money. It's like, if you're in your 20s at any range and you're going to be something in life, you wear this. And I mean, it's such an affordable fragrance. It's got enough girth to it where it's like half the size of Creed Aventus as well. Like, sometimes Aventus is just like the sillage and projection is so macho for me. This is half the size of that, but somehow it's still substantial, but it's crisp as well. Again, I would consider this a upscale casual / work type of scent, even semi-formal occasions. But man, for $20, this is just unmatched. I mean, I'm amazed. This was the first fragrance that I tried from Bentley where I was just like, oh no, car brands don't suck. And matter of fact, this can go toe to toe with anything in the designer world. And it's one of those perfect mass appeal scents where they nail the balance between giving me some complexity so it doesn't smell like rack store, but giving me a scent profile that's just like, oh yes, professional, slightly sophisticated, super fresh, juicy tangerine, and it just that mass appeal balance versus the complex head scratchingness. This just nails, and I love how ageless it is for men. That's my first rotation. Okay, second fragrance. Now we're gonna go vintage. This is an SB selection, guys. I try to pick fragrances you guys can get into, but sometimes I just gotta flex, my own personality. If you guys haven't noticed already, I'm everywhere, all the time. So I can wear different stuff. One day you might think I'm one type of guy. The next you'll be like, oh, dang, I didn't even know you're into that. Yeah, this is Cacharel Pour L'Homme. One of the oldest fragrances I have in my collection. Man, this thing is French, French, French. This is like this is going to be hard for me to describe to you. In fact, most of you shouldn't even go near this fragrance. I'm going to be real with you. But it's so affordable. It is a vintage, timeless masterpiece that most people north of 40 have to have in their collection. If you're one of these older men who prefers mass appeal, there's just nothing wrong with that. I hate the implication that just because you're old, you have to smell confused, or just because you're old, everything has to have richness and depth. that's a very one-sided ideal of masculinity or age that is just irrelevant and doesn't make any sense at all. We're all human beings at the end of the day. I know dudes that are 70 years old that are hip and cool and fresh, and they're not that deep with anything. They're simple dudes. And then I know 70-year-olds that are really complex, that like stuff that take time to think about. That's not a marker of you growing in maturity. That's just a preference. And same with perfumery. But this is the type of scent I like to wear when I want to feel French and sophisticated. You know, it is like a French dude puffing a cigar on out in the what would you call it? I'm not from here, so I don't know how to describe this terrain, but this very I don't know how to describe it. I just picture like these rolling hills, and this dude has this whole plot of land that he made from scratch, and he's just outside puffing a cigar, and he's just so French, and he's just like wee wee, and like I don't know. Pause. Guys, ignore my description. This isn't going to help you buy this fragrance. And like I said, most of you guys should stay away from it. But to me, it's a grassy, fresh, spicy, middleweight, Frenchish fragrance. But what makes it distinct to a lot of the other fragrances like it and from its time period is a good injection of nutmeg. I've never really experienced green fresh spiciness, and again, don't think green like grass necessarily. Like it's a woody experience, but it's just that classic like fougere style. It's the amber, the fir, the vetiver, the oak moss, the lavender, the clary sage, but doused in nutmeg. It's a nutmeg emphasis fragrance, but it just comes off so French and elegant and of its time. And I don't know, like this makes me feel professional yet approachable, but it is I don't want to say a weird scent. This just smells like a scent you'd have to be in France to understand. Like you'd see a French dude, going to work for the day, and you'd be like, I get it. That's French sophistication. So it's like a different style to the fougere. It's got this weird like nutty sweetness overcoated on it, but it's a real true fresh spicy woody type of joint. I love it because I think this is mature. I do think this is 30 plus. Like all my young guys out there, you have to really be cut like that to even want to smell like something like this. Like for me, I love wearing it going to work because it's like it's professional, it's elegant, it's classy, it's like a vintage, timeless classic, but it's also very unique. And so you'd have to be a man who gets up and goes to work every day to love something like this, or a fan of, or a somewhat of an understanding of fougères and whatnot. But this is absolutely lovely, and I'm realizing I'm already at 13 minutes, only 2 fragrances in. So this is Cacharel Pour L'Homme. This is in rotation, and mainly like when I go to work or when I just want to feel professional and unique, like something professional or classy that's like out of my culture, if that makes sense. Okay, let me give you guys a mass appeal one that you never heard of. This is the only time you will ever see SB around the police. This is The Police, and it's called To Be Bad Guy. To Be a Bad Guy by The Police. And this had like a little, P trinket that looked like, the Philly logo or whatever. This is just sick. This is not, what is it, Skull and Roses from Ed Hardy or whatever, which is imitating the Abercrombie and Fitch Fierce. No. This is, I don't know what the collaboration was, but this was like a band. And the band did some sort of collaboration where they just released a ton of fragrances with these skull heads. And they have stuff that is outside of this like skull head look, but they have a massive line of these, and a lot of like, I'm surprised. I have a couple of fragrances from the police. Sounds crazy, but these surprised the heck out of me. Like in the same way that Bentley surprised me how sophisticated and masculine their scents are, and like how much I want to wear them. These fragrances are super duper modern, but I would say 1 every 3 or 4 fragrances is just something that's like truly slightly unique, but super hip and modern and cool. And you know, check out it's like medium low pressure, cool piece to have in your house. But again, the scent is what matters here. This is like, I want to read you the notes in here, and just know that the experience of the fragrance is like, it's sweet winter mint, okay? But it's got so much more personality. The top notes are mint, blood orange, green notes, nutmeg and thyme, green apple. It's a very green apple winter mint experience, but green apple in the heart, geranium, sorbet, you know, ice cream, white flowers, and in the base we have caramel, tonka bean, vetiver, vanilla, and musk. Now that might initially sound like, oh, this is heavy. No. This isn't a true eau de toilette, airy and light, but it's an airy and light eau de toilette with just a little bit more weight to it. But it still has that airy crispness, that eau de toilette-y diffusive lightness. And it's just a scent that you, like every part of it, the opening, the dry down, the transition, all smells so good. And it's got an overtone of minty freshness. Like but cooling. It's not like a bite of mint. It's just that that cold inhale of air around all these cool notes. Like I smell the geranium, I smell the apple, I smell the orange, I smell the mint, I smell the green notes, I smell the caramel, the tonka, the musk. The sorbet note, I kind of get. It's like a light lemon sorbet sometimes, or a light lemony orange sorbet. It's just a cool scent, and I think you guys can snag this up extremely affordably. Again, this is Police to Be Bad Guy. And it's just a cool frag to have on your shelf. Again, it's light, you know, so you got to pack the sprays, but the smell is awesome. I mean, it can compete with any designer. Let's move on. Second to last fragrance here, we have Roja's Vetiver. The king of mass appeal vetivers. Is it the most wearable vetiver forward fragrance in my collection? It just might be. If I was ever introducing somebody to vetiver, if they were at my house, I'd start them off with Roja. There are some others that are very mass appeal. You know, I do feel like the Grey Vetiver Eau de Toilette, or it might be Eau de Parfum actually. And again, some of you guys might go into like Ball de Freak and stuff like that, but I wouldn't really call those like vetiver forward fragrances. There's a lot of vetiver in them, but it's about other things. Like I'm talking about, this is a vetiver celebration, but the most wearable vetiver possible. I believe the story behind Roja Dove creating this was vetiver was created because he had a lover that vetiver was his favorite fragrance. Like he just had a vetiver forward fragrance that they stopped making, and so he was distraught that apparently it was the only fragrance he wore. He loved vetiver that much. And so Roja attempted as like a, not a birthday gift, but just a gift to him or something. Oh no, I think it is on his birthday. On his birthday, he gifted him this fragrance that he made for him so that he could wear it again. And he took the profile and made it better. This is the best way I can describe Roja's vetiver. And what's amazing is that you can get this around like $120, $130 price point. Everyone just buy it. I don't care what your age is. Because if you can't deal with this level of vetiver, don't get any vetiver fragrance. Just point blank period. The most for dummies way I can describe this to you is this is sparkling Sprite soda vetiver with a little bit more girth, like a little bit more weight and sophistication. You know, the problem with fragrances like Ball de Freak is they smell amazing, but they don't last long. In fact, that might have changed with the new Ball de Freak Absolute, so don't quote me. But a lot of the vetiver fragrances, even the gray vetivers and a lot of your vetiver forward fragrances, have to ramp up in the amber grassy content to make them go, or in the woody profile. This is a middle to lightweight, sparkling, sweet, modern, hip vetiver that doesn't sacrifice the depth and richness, or the depth and sophistication that you get from, like, not selling out with your vetiver. Like, a lot of people that sell out with vetiver kind of go in an Elysium direction or a Ball de Freak direction, which is where you just smell like Sprite. And that can be cool. You know, there's a place for that, and we have fragrances like that. But I love vetiver for its depth and its complexity and richness. So when it's just trace amount splashed 5-10% into a fragrance, it feels like a cop-out, you know. But, you know, vetiver's been around for years as something that just gives a fragrance a woody base or just a complex body of undertone. And so I shouldn't be mad. It's a third wheel supporting role. It's very critical to a fragrance, but it's not the important part of a fragrance. I like vetiver celebrations. So again, this has the mass appeal of a Ball de Freak, but is just more manly to me. Like, it has more substance, more body, more longevity, and the projection experience, again, it is like a very sophisticated Ball de Freak kind of Sprite soda, but it's grassy, earthy, and woody under it. And it's just beautiful to wear, man. It is just, I mean, one of my favorite fragrances of all time. It's just absolutely stunning. Let's wrap up, guys, and we'll call it a day because I got to get out of here and get on my way to work. This is Santa Maria Novella Ambra. Again, from one of the oldest standing houses in history. I don't know how to say the word. Is it apocryphy? Apothecary? You know, it's a place that specializes in, like, tonics and herbal, taking raw materials from outside and turning them into religious stuff like incense and tonics for healing and for therapy. That type of place, you know, started out as a church, then the church utilized that stuff, and then they eventually, royalty came into play and said, we got to monetize this. And so over the years, they've transitioned, or not transitioned, but added to their arsenal, not just stuff for religiosity, but stuff for cleansing, stuff for detoxification, stuff for healing. And then eventually, I think a queen came over and said, no, we need to bottle some of this stuff into fragrances. And so they moved into fragrances. I want to say it says 1221 on the label. I think that's how far back they actually go. They might be the oldest house still in existence in Florence, Italy, somewhere in Italy, I think. I did a deep dive on this. My brain's just not all there in the morning. This is simple. This is like, the closest connection I can give you is it's a soft, it's a middleweight amber with soft, floral touches. So it's almost like an ashy amber. It feels similar to, like, Memoirs of a Trespasser in terms of, like, that ashy vanilla. Take the vanilla out and use amber, but amber sometimes can feel vanillic. But it is a soft, slight spiced floral amber. It sits on the skin really well, and it diffuses in the air to feel light, but light while still being rich. Absolutely love it. It's close to Rosendo Mateu's, what is it, number 5 or 4, the floral sensual musk amber fragrance, which you can get much cheaper. I think that Rosendo Mateu's like $80 to $100 on discounters. This fragrance is $300 retail. I think the lowest you might get with it is like $200, because you can't really get it in the States. You have to either be overseas, or there's like 1 or 2 websites that have it online, but because of that, you're going to pay full retail. A lot of you guys won't ever see this fragrance, but if you can try it, well, I mean, not for nothing. You know, I got it because my mom was overseas and got it for me. So that's how I was introduced to the brand. But actually, I'm going to keep it tall with you guys. The Rosendo Mateo number 4 or 5, the one that says amber, floral, and sensual musk, smells just like this. And you'll get the same experience for 80 to 100 bucks. So if you're interested in like a kind of soft, spicy, ashy, airy, middleweight amber that almost feels like a vanilla, get the number 4 or number 5 fragrance for like 80 bucks. It's got good longevity to it as well. They function the exact same, but this is just a staple amber in my collection that can truly go 4 seasons. I won't wear it in super high heat, but in that somewhat lower weather. This is just like casual, but it's still sophisticated. So it's casual, upscale casual. Again, how do I wear these? You know, Bentley for Men Black Edition is work and upscale casual, 20, 30 bucks. Cacharel Pour Le Homme, 20, 30 bucks. I wear it business professional, or when I just want to feel business professional, but I'm by myself. Roja's Vetiver is a mass appeal vetiver with sophistication, but honestly, you can dress it up upscale casual, work, semi-formal. It's just all around. It's got a lot of mass appeal to it, but it is sophisticated, so you can't just run around in your flip-flops wearing a fragrance like that, unless you want to. And then Ambra truly is a sophisticated, casual scent that is simple but rich in its depth and complexity. So depending what type of person you are, you can go casual, semi-formal. You can rock it to work, but it is slightly sweet. So I don't really like to wear the most sweet fragrances at work. I tend to like to be fresh. You know what? If I go to work in something like this, it's just to be not flirtatious, but like just like casual with it. So I might do like 1 spray of this, you know, just so that it's extremely light, you know, because I don't like sweets I barely like sweets in the office. So that's not a super sweet fragrance, but it's sweet for the office. And that fragrance retails for like $200-300. 2 might be the lowest you get it for. Again, the alternative to that is the Rosendo Mateo Amber Floral Sensual Musk fragrance. And those are 5 fragrances I have in my rotation. I wish I could have given you guys some more playful stuff, but we'll just turn it into a part series. This one was probably the most playful. I don't know how much you can get this, but I'd imagine you could get it for under 30 bucks. This is fun. This is ageless. Let me age rank them. 25 and up, 30 and up, ageless, but it's sophisticated, so tread lightly. Unisex ageless, and unisex masculine ageless. We'll leave it at that. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, like, comment, subscribe. More importantly, turn on that notification bell. Talk to me. I do talk back. I appreciate you guys for watching. Let me know what's in your spring rotation. You guys know my spring rotation is ridiculous, and I try and get in the habit of not showing you guys stuff that you would expect me to say. Like, I want you to know what my personality is and what I'd reach for, but I just want you to know it. I don't want you to be able to watch my shows and be like, oh, here's where he's going to pull out Equus. You know, oh, shoot, he's going to pull out Wulong Cha. Like, that is so... No, that ain't how SB rolls. I mean, one of the things my wife told me early on in our relationship that she appreciates about me is that I'm unpredictable. Even though she knows me, she still doesn't know what I'm going to do. And that's the energy I bring to this channel. You guys know so much about me, yet you don't know what I'm going to do next. But you know what to expect, and that's, you know, thorough, thoughtful, and you're in for a good time. And I love that trust that I've built with you guys, but I don't want you guys predicting what I'm wearing every day for my fragrance wearing. No. We don't do that over here. So I'm trying to bring you guys different stuff in my rotation. So again, this will be a part series, but let me know in the comment section below what you're wearing for spring and how hot or cold is it around your neck of the woods during the spring. Make use of the playlist section where I've organized this. This video will go in the guides section, but there are plenty of other playlists that you can roll through for this channel to kind of specify your watch experience. And make sure you join the Discord, which is located in the channel below if you want a more community experience with people and see behind the scenes what I've got cooking for this channel and the community. But I hope you guys have a blessed rest of your week, and hope you got some value out of listening to fragrances I've been wearing in my spring rotation. All right, stay blessed, guys. Peace.